For the
Do
bookstore.
not buy books. Rent your books.
Been feeling fucking cash, bitch. I'm rolling spliffs up. I've been off that shit, but it don't mean shit. I'm getting bigger. Let me call my plug to pick up. No, he got some dank to zip up. Riding the ride with your bitch, and she gon' suck me till she hiccup. I barely drink liquor. When I do, I say some shit.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Alexia Bram here, and I just want to say Happy New Year, first of all. And basically, I just realized I've never had serious conversations on my channel about like stuff that I really learned in my course of being a college student in the US of A. And so that's why I decided to make this video. And I wanted to make it with one of the smartest people that I know. And
Wow.
I knew I shouldn't have led with
Iconic.
that. I just know that was a bad idea. But yeah, she really is one of the smartest people I know and has really helped me, even though like she's younger than me. She's really helped me like navigate the college experience. So I just wanted to bring her on here to impart that knowledge on you guys as well. So this is my little sister. Her name is Stephanie.
I'm not little. Actually, I'm little. I found out I was...
You literally in this video you can see how much bigger my head is than yours. So I
found out recently that I was 5'3" instead of 5'4",
and that's the tea on that.
Since it's around that time where international students start looking at schools to come to in the UK, US, Canada, and other places, I feel like when I was applying, I only had her to help me. I didn't know anything else.
Exactly.
And my parents, they didn't go to school in the US. So it was just...
It was a lot.
You know that meme that's like the math and you're like, that was me.
Exactly. And it was just a lot of, for both of us, it was a lot of trial and error. We felt like it would be nice to make this video for someone who doesn't have a sibling that they can call and talk to and just doesn't have anyone essentially to give them this information because we really had to lean on each other a lot of the time. Tell them your college situation and then I'll tell them.
Okay, so I go to Georgia Southern and I am currently a senior.
And
I am a biochemistry pre-med major, and I know it's a lot of words, but it's just that's what I do.
For me, I'm also a senior. I'm older than her, but I'm a senior. But we'll get into that later. My major is interdisciplinary studies, and my minor is digital media. So basically, for me, when I first started college, I started as a computer science major, and then I switched. I think it was like 2 months into college, I realized like what I thought computer science was going to be wasn't what it actually was. So I ended up like having to call my dad and let him know because he was the reason why I kind of went towards computer science. I needed to pick something. So I did what I knew that my parents wanted me to do. And we'll get into why that was a bad idea later. But yeah, that was just kind of my situation. So the first thing that we're going to look at would be how to search for the right schools. What do you have to say for like...
I feel like if you're in high school right now, I know in Nigeria it's like you're 11 and you're 12. And year 11 is basically when you decide what exams you want to take. And then year 12 is when you just like apply and do all that stuff. So you barely ever do anything. So from my personal experience, I feel like if you know that you're going to come to the U.S. and you don't want to take the IGCSEs, I feel like you should just channel all the energy you have into studying for the SATs because then you'll have a higher score and you could apply to more schools and get more scholarships rather than wasting your time taking the IGCSEs and the SATs in WIAC and NECO.
All those exams
because that's what I did, and I burnt out by the time I had to take the SATs. So I was just like, "What is my life?" Exactly. But I had no choice because my dad was like, "Oh, you have to take it because in case anything happens." And while I'm happy about that, I just feel like if I could advise anyone, I would just be like, if you know one test that you want to take, just take it because it's also really expensive. So I would say like make your College Board account. It's called literally College Board, and then you make an account with them, and then I think you decide the schools that you want to submit your scores to.
A good thing is that the College Board website does allow you to search for schools based on your preference. So when I was talking about statistics, I wanted to get into the fact that you can actually, like, if you're the kind of person that you want to be able to party or you want to be able to have that, like, city life, you can choose a more urban versus rural area. You can, if you want like a smaller school to have like smaller class sizes, you can kind of check the filter of that. So I will link that in the description box so you can use that to search for schools. And to kind of latch onto what she was saying about specific exams. If you know that your parents are the kind of parents like ours that will make you take every single exam just for the hell of taking it in case of anything else, make sure that you like, for me, I definitely took majority of the exams apart from NECO, but basically just make sure that you are focusing on the one that you need. If you get better grades in a specific area, they're going to lean towards that. So that's a good way. If you know that your parents are like trying to force you to go somewhere you don't want to go, make sure you overperform in the places that you do want to go. That's how you end up there.
That's the tea on that.
And that's the tea on that.
If your school's international board is not emailing you the moment you turn in your application, they're not for you.
It's really important to make sure that you notice things like that. Because when I was in the school that I was in before I got to UCF, that was kind of one of the issues that I had that made me transfer, because I realized that and this is another thing, having a relationship with seniors in your major, seniors in general, just try to find people that have advanced a little bit in your major and are also international students to see how they're navigating the workforce. For me, that was one of the things that I noticed a lot of people having a problem with in that specific school. And I know that like when I would get to that level, it would be hard for me too, and I wouldn't be able to get as much exposure as I needed. The school I'm in now, UCF, has a really good international program, and they, not really an international program, but they have a really good relationship with their international students to where they're very informative. They provide a lot of job opportunities, and they even have like specific websites that we can go to find jobs that if we put in that we're international students, we already know that they accept us, instead of just having a school tell you, oh, just apply to jobs in the area, and then you're applying to 50, 60 jobs only for you to find out that 30 of those jobs you've applied to don't even, I'm going on a rant right now, but it really pissed me off, don't even accept people that are on a visa. So you just have to make sure that you're bringing that up to them from the gate. It doesn't matter how awkward the conversation might seem to you, but you will save so much time just saying, I'm an international student, by the way. Yes, I will need a work visa when I graduate. To just get that out of the way, and even if they don't accept you, you know that like it's not your fault and you've done what you can, versus just like going through all of these hoops only to find out that they weren't even going to consider you to begin with. So that's something too.
In my school specifically, I go to Georgia Southern, and I actually work with our international office in helping to find ways to better recruit Nigerian students especially. And I feel like the reason why I stayed in the school is the fact that they actually care about you. And it's not a large school, it's a medium-sized school, but it feels like one of their mottos, like, large-scale university with small-scale feel. Yeah. So stuff like that, if you are that kind of person, and I feel like it's beneficial because they care about you as a person, and you're not just like a number per se. Like a lot of people talk about, especially in Georgia, they talk about like going to UGA, but then most of them, especially in the chemistry major and biochem minor, actually come back to Georgia Southern because of like the fact that you can get more opportunities, smaller class sizes. Nobody wants to take organic chemistry in a class filled with 100 people because you're not like that's not ideal. That's not an ideal situation, but it's kind of like you have to have personal relationships with the professors of the classes you're taking, because if you need an internship, those are the people that are going to give you the recommendation letters you need. They probably know somebody who knows someone who knows someone.
They've been there for a long time. So and they've experienced helping students just like you. So that even leads into our second point, which was maneuvering being active on campus. And this is something that I just want to make sure that I stress to you guys. Being active on campus is very, very important as an international student. But the ways in which you're active is what we need to address. Whatever you're a part of is something that you can put on your resume. So in addition to the things that you're doing that are fun, don't allow the fun to consume all of your time. Make sure that from the jump, you are participating in either major specific organizations or just charity organizations, or just basically something that is going to be useful to you in the long run. If you have a culture related organization and you know that all y'all do when y'all get together is just talk about how the struggles of whatever culture that you're part of, and y'all aren't ever doing any charity work, y'all aren't ever talking about how you can impact the campus and how you can bring awareness to the problems in your country, then there's no need of you having a leadership position in such an organization, because y'all ain't doing shit. That's really important. Like, just don't just join things just to make friends and be part of things. Like, make sure that when you're joining things, you're like, okay, how is this useful? What am I doing? Because before you know it, you're a junior, you haven't done shit, you haven't been part of shit, and you have like, you can have all the good grades in the world, but it's not just about grades.
If you're not pre-med or nursing, and even then it's like
Exactly. It's like the grades are important, but really. Basically when you're graduating college, as long as you have at least a 3.0, you're in a good spot. So make sure that if your GPA is on the lower tier of the 3.0, you have things that you are doing that they can look at and be like, okay, she might not be 3.9, but she was the treasurer in this organization that grew from this number to this number and did this amount of work in the span of 2 years. So that's important.
Because a lot of people, especially since being Nigerian and going to
boarding school that made grades everything.
So like, oh my God, my grades, if I make 1B or if I don't make an A in this class, it's everything. But I'm starting to notice that when you focus more on making connections with your professors and actually networking,
your relationships,
you're more likely to get a job.
Exactly.
Than like just getting good grades. Not talking to professors, not talking to anybody, finishing class and saying, oh, just because the people, and I'm sorry I'm going on a rant here, but this is so annoying, because I meet a lot of Nigerian students that are like freshmen, and they're like, oh, nobody knows me, and I can't talk to them in my accent, and I can't fake an American accent.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter. Like, as far as you're making connections in your classes, talk to the people next to you.
And also, if somebody's not talking to you because you have an accent, or
then don't talk to
that's
them.
not the person you need to be talking to. As long as you're just a decent human being, people are going to gravitate towards you.
College isn't about getting good grades, and I'm pre-med and I'm stressing that. It's not.
Exactly.
Like, in my major, for example, there was a lot of people that had the 4.0 and everything, but they didn't have community service hours, or they failed the interview. And it's like, if you don't have those
gotta have those skills,
then it's pointless. Even our professors now in my upper level classes, they tell me, they're like, yeah, you need to have people skills. You need to do something else.
People skills are what get you by in corporate America.
Yeah.
Let me just say that much. There has been no job that I've gotten that my mouth didn't get me in the door.
Yeah.
Your intelligence is what gets them to call you up for the interview. But your mouth and what the people's skills that you've developed is what is going to get you the job. Because there's a lot of people are smart, and being international, you better know that there's people that are smart as hell. So it's not just about being smart, because the odds are that's the norm. Like, being smart is the norm. Like, you having a 3.8 being an international student is not, you're not doing anything that everybody else isn't doing. So make sure that you don't just focus on getting good grades, because odds are a lot of the other international students coming out of Nigeria, especially from our experience, from what we know, are going to be focusing on grades, because that's what they know from high school.
Another thing, hopping on what she said, I just want to address something. I'm going to call it clump culture. But it's basically and if you go to an international school, no tea, no shade. If you go to a school that has a lot of Nigerians and stuff,
There's a
international
clump
student.
culture.
It's like there's something called clump culture where all the Nigerian people stick together. They only talk to each other, and that's not.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Don't do it.
They start to label you guys as like one.
It's not even. Honestly, I don't give a fuck what anybody labels me as. It's not even about that. It's about the fact that like you came from Nigeria to be friends with Nigerians.
Exactly. So why?
Make it make sense.
Why?
It doesn't make sense. And the reason I say this is because you have to learn how to. You're not in a PWI to just be hanging around other people that look just like you. You have to realize that diversifying yourself, learning about other cultures is important. It is super important. If you're hanging around like-minded people that only know about the things that you know about, you're always going to be in the same spot. Growth cannot happen. So make sure that when you're making friends, you're even if it's uncomfortable for you, because I know coming from Nigeria and coming from like just having everybody the same skin tone, well, not necessarily the same skin tone, but the same shade range. It's kind of scary to put yourself out there and talk to other people. But being a freshman, you have to understand majority of other people that you're talking to and that are in your classes are freshmen too. They're scared too. So you just have to be that bold person and just speak up and talk to people. And you realize, everyone is having the same experience that I am, and everyone needs someone to talk to.
A lot of the times, the friends that I've made in my major have helped me more in my career
than the friends that I've made because they look like me.
They're Nigerian or they look like me, and that's just facts.
Exactly, and that's facts.
It's good to have. I have
a lot of friends that look like me. That's a good thing.
That look like me,
but also make sure
you also have to learn how to spread out. Like you could have gone to school in
if you just wanted to be around Nigerians, then I suggest you stay home.
Like just stay home. Like if you feel like you are not able, please.
It's harsh. Like it's harsh that we're saying that, but it's the harsh truth.
I see all the time, and then when you can't get a job,
because you've just been hanging around people because they look like. It's not about who look like you. If you have a Nigerian friend that's in your major, that's different. That's okay. They're in your major.
A little bit.
Y'all have something in common. But if you're hanging around people just because, hey, you Nigerian, I'm Nigerian,
no, that's not gonna help.
You can have a couple friends like that because there are people that you'll meet and you have a friend because she got all the ins and outs of the clubs and you trying to go clubbing. Like you can have a friend like that, but also make sure that your circle is diversified. Make sure that you have useful friends as well, not just the ones that are moving here.
We need to stop.
Basically moving mad. That's just essentially. The thing I noticed about being Nigerian when I first came here, I was so shook. I'm trying to get the best grades that I can. So it's like, I just wanted to just focus on my studies. But then I have never been out of my parents' eye level. So I was also like, y'all going to the beach at 9 p.m.? This wild. And so it's very easy to get wrapped up in all the fun and just want to just have fun. But before you know it, you're a junior, you ain't done shit. So like, it's like, as you're having fun, have a balanced life. It's all about balance. Don't be, to school, and then you don't get into med school because you were just focused on your classes. Like, make sure that, as I'm doing, or any other school, or just anything, you don't get something because you were too focused on one thing. So make sure that as you're having your fun, as you're dilly-dallying, you're still like serious with school and you're still like being involved in organizations. Just make sure you have a balanced life, because too much of everything is gonna outwhack you.
Problematic. If you know that as a student you don't know who you are yet, I feel like if you need some time to take like a gap year, do it, because I've witnessed a lot of things in my college career, being an international students and seeing students that get so sucked up because
with life
of
and
the culture
partying,
shock
because
and the partying and the drugs and all that stuff, and it's just like
not the drug shock.
And they have to go back home, and it's so sad. It's like real. You have to know who you are, what you value,
and if you don't, it's okay. A lot of the times, one thing that I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget to mention in this video, your school has therapy, and being Nigerian and just coming from an environment where mental health isn't valued, I want you to shove that ideal out of the window, push it out of the door, because no, that's not it, baby girl. What you need to do, or baby boy, whatever, What you need to do if you find yourself having a lot of culture shock and you know that you don't have that kind of relationship with your parents where you can be upfront about it, or you're scared to talk to them and you're scared to talk to your friends because everyone looks like they're having such a great time and you might not be having such a good time. Make sure you schedule appointments. They're usually free in most universities. I've researched this, so I can confirm. And also, if as you're searching for colleges, make sure that you search that information too, because having therapy and having that thing that is something that you can go to when you have nowhere else to turn is extremely important. Depression is real in college. Majority of college students go through a depressive state or have depression, and they don't address it because they don't know. They think, oh, I'll just get by. It's fine.
Spiritual attack.
It's a spiritual attack if you're Nigerian. Well, if you want to go there, but it's important for you to not a spiritual attack. It's important for you to seek therapy, and it's hard because it's hard talking to someone you don't know about your problems, but it will benefit you having someone that is not in your situation look at your situation with like a clean slate, with like clear eyes, and they're not your friend, they're not your, you know what I mean? Because talking to friends about stuff, it's cute, but you actually need real advice from someone that knows what you're going through and is actually licensed to help you. So that's something to consider. If you don't have passion driving your career goal or what you're trying to achieve, if you don't have passion driving it, you're never going to be the best of the best. And it's like you can get all the good grades you want, but the person that's passionate about it is doing side projects on that thing. And when y'all start applying for jobs, it's going to show. So always make sure that if you don't have that passion, you're not just like, oh, I'm going to get by, it's fine. Really, truly ask yourself, is this something I like? Is this something I'm interested in? If you really sit down to think about, okay, do I really want to be a doctor, or do my parents want me to be a doctor? Then you can start to address some truths. This is your life. And as much as your parents want you to believe that it's their life, it's a lie.
Another thing, because we're getting towards the end, another thing I would want to say, please rent your books. Don't buy your books.
Don't buy
your
books.
First semester.
Baby girl, baby boy, do not buy books. Rent your books.
Best thing you can do. Chegg is a good place to start. Just,
rent your books, sweetie.
Move with sense.
And ask questions. Ask people questions. Your international office is there for you. Is there to help you. Don't be moving around talking about, I don't know what CPT is. I don't know what OPT is. Baby girl, you're going to need to know these things. Like, find out from jump. Find out. Talk to your advisors. If you have questions about the kind of classes that you're taking, or if you have questions about a drop deadline, or just questions in general about school-related stuff, that's why you have an advisor. Every student has an advisor, and that's why. They're not just there to just be there. Like, literally utilize them, because you're paying for them.
Now that Trump's here, stay woke. Stay woke. If your visa expires,
don't let your visa expire. That's another thing that we wanted to go in with, like maintaining your visa. How to maintain your I-20 and how to maintain legal standing in the U.S. Always make sure that you read the fine print and talk to your international office. They usually will send out emails to tell you, hey, this is how you need to maintain your I-20. Make sure that you're not getting illegal employment. Make sure that you are not working without working above certain hours. Yeah, working above certain hours. Make sure that you are not getting any encounters with police, because getting an encounter is like as little as a cop writing down your name at a party where there was underage drinking. Even if you were not drinking, you were at the party and you were underage. So your name being written down, and then you're going back to Nigeria thinking all is well, about to renew your visa, and they're like, oh, but just know that the legal system in the U.S., they got you. They looking at you, and everything you're doing that you think no one can see you, your FBI man and your laptop is watching you.
If you go to a party, this is for girls. If you go to a party, always make sure
you pour your own drinks, and you know what's in your drink, and you hold your drink in your. Don't leave your drink and come back to your drink. This ain't Little Leagues.
Yeah.
You the only person looking out for you.
Slip a roofie into your drink,
and that will be that, and you'll be shook.
Rape culture is
real.
Thing. Like, stay woke. Don't let anybody pour a drink for you,
and hold on to your drink. Don't go to the bathroom and come back and drink a drink. Get a new drink.
Do it.
Make sure that if you're going to travel out of the country, you have your I-20 on you at all times. It's very important, and it's signed. It has a travel signature, because that travel signature is basically your school telling the government that they know that you were going to this other country. And because you're on a student visa, you need that signature. You can't just be moving around here. You're a student, so your school has to be aware. Your school is the reason why you have a visa, so they have to be aware of all kinds of movements that you're making.
And this is for international travel, not travel
statewide.
The U.S.
Yeah.
It's just if you're going on a cruise to Mexico, get it signed. If you're going back home for
and bring it with you.
Bring it with you. And if
you can't have a picture of it
for Christmas.
I tried that.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Just be like
mindful and alert,
diligent. If it's expired, or if you feel like it's expiring soon, don't travel. So if it's expiring,
don't try to be slick. This college thing, let me tell you, is not a race, baby girl. Yeah. It's a lot of people I know that graduated way before me, that were in the same major as me, and they still don't have a job today because there's certain experiences that you need to have, internships and stuff like that, before you graduate to be able to have a full college experience. Like, you can't just graduate with just your grades. So don't worry about, because a lot of things that gives other people anxiety, especially being Nigerian and being used to people comparing you to other people, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't worry about everybody's pace. She has a major, I have a major and a minor. It's going to take me that's going to add a whole 20 more credits. It's going to add more time. So don't look at somebody and be like, oh, why is this person graduating before me, or why is this happening? Because you don't know what their degree entails. I might have more credits to go through than her. So if I was supposed to graduate last semester, if I have a minor, it's going to take me 2 more semesters to cover it.
Some majors like
and there's also some majors like IT that you need an internship to graduate.
So to get into med school here, if you're thinking about that,
don't think about it.
Don't think about it. But it's like you need a lot of volunteer hours, clinical volunteering, not just like volunteering weekly at some school. You need to volunteer strategically too, because they're looking at your clinical volunteering, community volunteering, as well as clinical shadowing. So I thought about it and I was like, well, I haven't been able to get my shadowing, so I'd rather push my graduation, take fewer classes in the semester, and then shadow. And I think it's working for me, because by the time I graduate, I would have like
you would have a
150 plus the shadowing I got in Italy, so I would have like 40 hours of shadowing. So that's what I mean by being strategic. Yeah, like,
don't be in a race to try to be the first one to graduate. Just think about it like this. You're the only person that's accountable for you. If you know that what you're doing is what you need to do to get to where you need to be, don't worry about what the next person is doing. You don't know what struggles that they might encounter in the future. So it's like, just focus on what you're doing. And as long as you know that you're doing the right thing, you'll be fine.
Just thread lightly. We'll put some more information down in the description box. I always wanted to do that.
We wanted to go more into CPT and OPT, but that information is easily available online. So I'm just going to link most of the stuff. And also your school will have information about how they deal with CPT and OPT, which is employment off campus when you're in school and employment when you graduate, and how that works with what majors that you choose. So that information is going to be available in the description box below, so you can kind of just check that out. And yeah. And on that note, I think we are done with this video. I really hope this video was helpful for you guys. I'm trying to make more helpful content like this, because I know that I didn't have anybody that was making videos like this. Everyone just kind of assumes that everybody knows what to do, but it's hard because how, So I really hope that we were able to like help you. If you're struggling, definitely comment below any of your questions that you have for us, and we'll definitely make sure that we answer them. And yeah, we just hope that you give us a big thumbs up if you got some knowledge from this and you liked it. And definitely let me know if you guys want me to make more content like this, because this was a pretty good video.
Yeah, it was pretty important.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will just see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Bye.